r/askreddit. What has your pet accidentally conditioned you to do?
My wife just got out of the cat's chair on our front porch after he strolled up and meowed. Crazy thing is, it's not our cat.
This is like /r/2-sentence horror, but in a cute way.
r/2-sentence wholesome.
Shuffle my feet instead of walking when it's dark so I don't step on my small black cat.
When I come home, my dog comes to the door all excited, wagging her tail, making this woo-woo-woo-woo sound. It's not quite howling, but it's not barking either. I started to woo-woo-boo back to her because it amused me, but now if I don't, the sound she makes will turn into barking, which is very noisy and unpleasant. So basically, she's trained me to have this dumb woo-woo conversation with her in order to keep her from yelling at me. Edit, because lots of people are asking. She's a Portuguese water dog.
My mother's dog tells her when it's time for her evening meal. As in my mother's evening meal. The dog knows she eats after my mother, so when she starts to get peckish, she goes and bugs her to start cooking. When I go back to visit, we'll be sitting chatting, and the dog will sidle in and become a presence in the room for maybe 30 seconds until my mother casually looks at her watch and says, "Suppose we better think about eating." She's completely unaware of what triggers her decision.
I have a cat that plays fetch very insistently. She brings me her toy mouse, and if I don't throw it for her, she sits on my laptop keyboard. Of course, this all started when I would throw the mouse to keep her from sitting on my laptop.
My cat does that too. He broke the feather part off his string toy, and he'll drop it on my face while I sleep if he wants to play law.
My partner always goes to bed before me, and occasionally when I get in bed there's a cat toy laying by him 'cause the cat brought it to him after he fell asleep. It's super cute. I've been brought toys while I'm sleeping too, but I'm a lighter sleeper than him, so I wake up to the cat either rolling around on his back, kicking the toy in the air, or pawing at my arm or face, and then staring between the toy and me. Quick edit. He brings the toy for fetch as well. Watching him play fetch is the cutest thing ever.
This wasn't accidental. I have a kitten about 5 months old. Every morning, I wake up and feeding him is one of the first things I do. In the first couple months in his little brain, he learned that me waking up. About a month ago, he started waking me up, looking to expedite the process, jumping on me, meowing loudly, running across the bed, whatever gets me out of bed. I usually wake up around 6 a.m. for work. I guess that was too late for breakfast, as over the course of about a week, this kitten would wake me up about 15-20 minutes earlier every day. This started on a Sunday, and it wasn't until Friday that I was woken up and realized it was 4:30 a.m. It was then that I realized I'd been outsmarted by a kitten, and I was being conditioned to feed him in the middle of the night. Now, if he wakes me up early, he gets locked out of the room until I'm ready to get out of bed. He doesn't wake me up anymore.
Run towards the door when they start dry heaving.
One of my dogs has several barks, a play bark and a squirrel bark and other dog things that are normal dog barks. He also had what we call his emergency bark. The emergency bark is what he does when he thinks there is serious danger. It is extremely loud and makes us jump every time. He usually reserves it for things like the time I fell down the stairs and he barked for my husband to help, or when someone is in our front yard, or when he cornered a possum in the backyard. However, since my husband started working from home, this dog barks his emergency bark at my husband if he tries working past 4 p.m. My husband now has learned to stop working at about 3:50 every day to avoid that jarring sound.
Sleep on my back or front. I used to be a side sleeper but have an elderly cat who loves her human bed.
Everything her little heart desires. BC, I am an idiot sucker, and she knows it.
I've shared this before, but I got my dog Snoopy when I was 10 years, and ever since he was a puppy, he had this weird love for lettuce. He would go absolutely nuts for it, so whenever I had a sandwich or a burger, I would give him some of my lettuce. Over the years, it became a ritual that whenever I prepared any food for myself that involved lettuce, I would grab some extra lettuce for him so I could toss it to him as I ate. He passed away 5 years ago after nearly 17 years together, but I still find myself grabbing that bit of extra lettuce for him. It's kind of funny that his little quirk is still stuck with me for all these years, and I honestly never wanted to go it away because it's a little way for me to remember him.
sleep with my legs a cat length apart. She likes to sleep in between them.
Same here. I've noticed I'm much more awake/aware when I shift positions now, too, so I'm sure not to kick or squish her.
Two things. My dog Rusty always puts his front paws on me, and I always hugged him, so now when he's anxious, he'll give me a hug and I'll hug him back. The other one is when I get ice. He always begs for one, so now, without thinking, I always begs for one, so now, without thinking, I always toss him an ice cube. Edit. Thank you all for the awards. I'd assume you'd all like to know the good boy is sleeping on my chest right now, and yes, he did get an ice cube before bed.
My dog does the ice thing too. We call it sacrificing Lo.
Before I run in the morning, I usually scarf down a banana. Ever since we got my sweet dog, I scarf down about 2/3 of my banana and he gets the last part. It's become our little thing, an unspoken agreement.
The banana tax. It happens at my house, too.
My girlfriend's older cat makes me pick her up to drink running tap water from her bathroom sink. I also gotta pick her up to get on the dryer to eat, even though she can easily make the jump.
My cat has trained my so to do this. She used to hop up on our laps when we called, but now she just meows expectantly to be picked up because she likes it better.
When I get up to go to the bathroom, I stand in the door and wait for my elderly cat to come in before I close the door. He likes to keep me company. If he doesn't come in right away, I'll call for him, and if still nothing, I'll start walking around the house looking for him.
My kitten has taught me this new trick. If I'm using the toilet or having a shower, I have to call her in. With my Financy, she runs from any part of the house to watch him pee. She's quickly received the nickname Toilet Attendant.
Yeah, floor food? Whenever I'm cooking and I drop something. Or go crunch, crunch, crunch when I'm chopping veggies, so my dog knows I have extras for her.
Weaving his name into any song I can for no reason whatsoever.
I was riding around with my dog the other day and Motley Crue's Girl, Girls, Girls came on the radio, but he likes it better if I sing it as Squirrels, Squirrels, Squirrels.
Replacing the instances of girl with squirrel in any song is a recipe for a good time.
Change the water in her bowl. It can be all the way to the top, and she'll stand there staring at it until I take the bowl, dump it, and refill it with fresh water.
My husky does this sneezing thing when she's anxious, and I imitate her every time she does it. Usually causes follow-up sneezes. I also know right when she's about to groan when she's anxious/annoyed, and if I make the noise before she does, she won't do it.
I have 3 cats, so I am as trained as a seal at SeaWorld. Here are just 3. In the evenings, Icy will sleep on the living room furniture. If I get up to get a drink, she will stretch and roll over, demanding belly rubs. And she wants me to tell her she is a pretty girl. If I don't pet her and tell her that, she will meow at me when I come back. Luna likes to know where I am at all times, so she will call out to me and expect me to answer. I know the meow that means, Elisa Simpson fun, where the hell are you? She won't stop until I answer her. Mr. Saucy Pants is a big baby, so he needs lots of reassurance, and I have to leave the bathroom door cracked so he knows he can get to me if he is scared. If it don't, this little paw slides under the door and he cries. The only time I shut the door is if other people are here. The cats run the house.
To press on my bladder to wake me up early so they could eat early. Living lots of food by night didn't solve it.
When I'm having dinner, my cat would jump on the table and look at me with squinting eyes until I feed him. I try to resist, but his eyes squint so hard, it's as though he's about to fall asleep. Too cute not to give him a little bit of my food.
I open the tinfoil as quietly as possible. My cat loves tinfoil balls, and whenever he hears it he runs over and looks at it longingly, despite him having at least 24 tinfoil balls already. You can't call him with a treat bag or tin. He only comes for the foil.
Check the mail every day. He's so excited to walk to the mailbox with me, it reminds me to actually do it.
I had fish on top of this cabinet. Not sure if that's the right word. So I would always be really, really careful when closing it so it doesn't disturb them. I haven't had fish or any other pet in 5 years, but I still do it.
My cattle dog knows if he coughs on my face in the morning, I will get up and wash it. Then now I guess I am just up. Also, for one cat, I leave the toilet seat up so she can pee. Otherwise, she will go down the sink, and that feels wrong.
Yell her name when she barks. It's just automatic now.
Pick up
the turds, which just periodically fall out of his asshole for no apparent reason, and also pay $400 to have the vet stick a finger up there when it gets clogged up once or twice every year. When it comes to pooping, my cat is all or nothing.
My dog Yuri has conditioned me into being his pillow at night. At first I would immediately push him off when he tried, but eventually he learned how to rest his head on my chest little by little, so I didn't notice. Now I basically just let him do it lol.
My cat, for whatever reason, likes to play hockey with ice cubes. So whenever I get ice for my drink, I instinctively put a cube in his water bowl. Somehow, the subsequent wet socks always surprise me.
When I come home from work, I yell out for him so he can come up to me, and I pick him up to give him kisses.
My dog likes to sleep under the bed covers. If she wants to get under, she will come and nudge me gently. And no matter how asleep I am, I lift the covers with my legs so she can get in.
Save the last part of everything I eat for him.
Leave space next to my pillow for him to cuddle next to. Too often, both cats want to sleep there, and I have what I call my cat hat to sleep in.
I've somehow become a cat treat dispenser for them. Yay for thumbs, I guess. They both come next to me, keep staring until they get a treat. Or the boy sometimes keeps talking and gives me a massage until he gets his treats. The girl also is all flirty when she wants temptations, until she gets them. Candy digger?
Close the bathroom door with a rope just big enough so the cats can fit through. Or he dog will eat their poop out the litter box. No one wants or likes doggy kisses with a bit of cat crap sprinkled in between.
She will look toward the kitchen and then back at me with a smile. Then she gives a little wag and looks at the kitchen and back at me with that cute smile. She's telling me she wants a treat.